Welcome to Secrets from the Saddle podcast. I'm Sylvie, your host, fellow cyclist, bike club founder, cycling coach, bike race junkie, just truly super passionate about cycling. My journey with cycling started 20 years ago when I opened a spin studio, started a women's race team, and founded a women's only cycling club called Cycle Fit Chicks. I'm super thrilled to reveal all aspects that make the world of cycling operate. I'm so excited to be able to bring you interesting people from around the world, pro cyclists, recreational cyclists, coaches, event organizers, bike shop owners, everything and everyone you need to know or ever wondered about when it comes to cycling. I know you'll enjoy this episode. Hey friends, before we get started, I'm going to throw a little ad your way. As a cyclist, what is a spring all about? It's about getting your bike ready and learning some specific skills on how to deal with a bike mechanical while out for a ride. Let me ask you this. Do you avoid going long distances because you're afraid of experiencing a flat and not knowing what to do and possibly having to phone someone to pick you up? I can totally relate. I used to be that way. Now, to avoid having that ever happening, I have something for you. I have created an online bike maintenance webinars and local hands-on clinics. Check the website for new dates regularly. Here's what you will learn: how to take your back wheel off, how to change a flat, how to adjust brakes, repair a broken chain, patch a flat. In addition, you will learn how to use the tools you are carrying in your bike bag, such as Allen keys and a chain brake tool, tire levers, how to use your pumps, what are chain links and how to use them. With these new skills and confidence, you will be able to handle any mechanical while cycling alone or in a group. No matter where you are globally, you can benefit from one of these webinars. If you're local, the clinics are more for you, and that's for Ottawa, Ontario area. I've been teaching these clinics for over 10 years, and trust me when I say, everyone learns something. A recording will be provided for the webinars, as well as Amazon shopping lists for both webinars and clinics for the bike tools that you will be using and learning how to use. Make sure to secure your spot today at www.sylviedao.ca or bmcclinic.ca. Thank you very much and enjoy the episode. All right, welcome back to another episode of Secrets from the Saddle, All Things Cycling podcast with your host, Sylvie Dao. And I am so excited for this interview with Martin and Alex, and it's Nikolenk.
Right.
Yeah. And they are sitting in Dubai. Okay, so I don't know about you, but I'm so completely fascinated with Dubai, the culture there, and I see more of a cycling culture there. And so Martin was born in Dubai. He's 9 years old, so he is also my youngest interview with on the podcast. He got his first bike as a New Year's Eve gift, as most kids do, I imagine, from their parents, and when he was 2. Now, he soon took to pedaling. He started with snowboarding when he was 3, and then he went to skateboarding. And now he races bikes. He participates in triathlons. And I'm just super excited to have both of you on the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You can say louder.
Yeah.
I know this is so new, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we have here with us Martin, which is our young cyclist, and his dad, Alex. And we are going to, so the first question I always ask you guys, and of course, I know you just said, but how did you really, how did you get into cycling as you are now? I also would love to know how you got to Dubai, because you say you're from Russia and the cycling culture there. So let's start getting to Dubai and then the bicycle at Christmas.
Okay, so
So
how we started, how we end up in Dubai. We moved, me and my wife, 11 years ago. So Martin was born over here when we were already living here in Dubai. I think he spent only accumulated a couple of months maybe back in Russia at the place where our cultural place, right?
right, yeah.
But yeah, most of the time we live here. And so we went through different sport activities. And so as you said before, he was snowboarding and he is snowboarding, but as you can imagine, Dubai is not the best place in the world for the snowboard. Right? But we do have here even this kind of facility. So we have a small closed environment for the snowboarding and skiing.
But it's not really that good. Like at
Okay, all. I can imagine. I think I've seen those. They're in Japan. I think they have them as well. Indoor.
In many places, even in Russia, although they have a lot of snow over there, they do have one place like that in Moscow. It's great to have, but it's not a place where you want to come back every week, let's say.
Right, so it's great to start.
Tell us your story, how you started with the cycling.
So actually my friend got me into cycling. I have a best friend, his name is Ayan, and he was doing triathlon. So we had this tri club, and I wanted to get in because we were together. So I got in, I was actually with my mountain bike, and then I got a road bike. And then I really liked cycling. Me and my dad went together. We did 40Ks, we did 50Ks.
Wow.
And we were all hooked. So then I started off with a frog bike, like an kids, you know.
Yeah, the Striders.
Size, but the exact same year, I got another one, a bigger frog bike. So that one I won a lot. I had lots of races on them, triathlons, duathlons. I won a duathlon. And yeah, now I have my Pardes bike, the exact same year. And unfortunately, actually, the day I got my bike, I actually had a crash earlier that day with my old bike. So,
thankfully.
Yeah, so
with a new bike.
Even had already experience with a crash. Yeah, but I think all cyclists are going through that one day.
Wins, crashes, loses, everything happens.
Oh, it does. And I don't think it ever stops. It's one of those things, that just happen by chance. But were you in a race when you crashed, or were you just
we were actually, so we had this mountain day with a big group of men. And just like we were going, and my water bottle holder fell. So we stopped, picked it up, and then I just put my bottle in my jersey because why not? So I ride, I'm thirsty. Well, I know I need to drink water. I take my bottle, and I swerve to the left, swerve to the right, slide down. It was a horrible day. I did not really like that. I was just the whole morning just like playing. I hate this day.
Oh no, you weren't part of a big pileup where you were just found by yourself.
A couple of guys have involved into that as well, my friends. Yeah, if anybody's listening, hi everyone.
Yeah. Remember that day?
Yeah, that's true. So, but yeah, that's a part of the cycling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me more about like Dubai as a place to ride, because like I said, I'm like super interested in the cycling culture that's growing there. I've heard from people that the time to ride is like at 5 a.m. Just tell me about what it's like there.
It depends on the time of the year, of course. So Martin,
I
go
got-
ahead,
yeah.
and I will add if you will miss
Yeah.
any points. You proceed.
I started this triathlon thingy in winter. So that's actually like, okay, it was pretty cool. So yeah, I like it. And then we went to summer. Summer was super hot. We had to either go late night, early mornings. But winter and like near the New Year season, I was wearing warmers on my legs, a jacket, and when we stopped at like the shop, we used to take our helmets off, our gloves off. Here we were just sitting like this.
You don't want to see what my winter looks like.
Of course. But
yeah.
where are you cycling? Tell where you're cycling.
So we have a couple of tracks here, but my home spot it's called Al Qudra. We live in a place near the cycle track, so we're lucky. So we just need
when
to
you say cycle track, is that like a velodrome or is it like a course that a lot of people ride on?
Outdoor. It's an outdoor specific cycling
yeah.
path.
Oh, okay. It has more than 160 kilometers.
Oh, okay.
It goes really almost through Dubai. Kind of.
It goes from the city, outside of the city, to the desert, makes a loop. There are several loops outside.
Like shortcuts, long cuts.
Okay.
And actually, talking about New Year, a really big race of my life was a New Year race.
Oh, like a New Year's Eve?
So on New Year's Eve in the morning, I had a cycling race. It was 16K, and it was a really good because I got second place in my age group, under 12. So I am 9, and I was racing with 11-year-olds. So
that's good.
And I got second place, and then we went back home. And it was just I was really proud of myself that I did something on New Year.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great way to start the new year.
That's a great. So here they have a lot of options. To be honest, if you think about where you can cycle, it sounds surprisingly, but you do have places where to cycle. And both big cities, the capital Abu Dhabi and the city where we live, Dubai, the government invests a lot into the cycling infrastructure.
Oh.
So it's the cycling path, what Martin said, Al Qudra, I think it's close to 200 kilometers altogether. If you take all the links and connections and everything, it's a very good tarmac, amazing quality, always cleaned. With some parts of this track with the lights and everything, so you can cycle there anytime. And is another place as well. It's a smaller loop, 9 kilometers loop, called DX Bike or Maidan track. It's closer to the city, and there are many people coming there in the evening to do their training.
Great.
I was doing
so we were there yesterday, actually.
Yeah. I have triathlon club. We have like running, cycling, and swimming.
But so where do you do the swimming? In the ocean?
I just do it somewhere in the school pool. They just allow us permission. But I'm not really. I do triathlon. I have one tomorrow, one after tomorrow, just like 2 in a row. But I am more into cycling.
I bet you don't like the swimming part.
I think it's not about liking or don't liking. It's about if you do it good or not, right? And so, yeah. And then we have Abu Dhabi, and Abu Dhabi also the capital of the UAE, and they also doing a lot for the cycling, really a lot. As Martin said, there is a path. What's the name of that? Al Wadba.
Yeah.
So it's in the middle of the desert, amazing track. with the different loops of 8 kilometers, I think 20 kilometers, 30 and 30 kilometers. So, and they have like parts of these, they have races over there, and so it's a good facility as well. And then they have closer to the city another place where Martin is cycling on the races. So this Falcon Daman series race, it has a loop of 10 kilometers.
Okay.
And a couple of loops actually inside with the different turns and everything. Amazing place, very good quality of the road and everything. And all of this is dedicated for the cycling. So you don't have any pedestrians there, you don't have any cars, you don't have anyone.
Oh, wow.
So it's a place for cyclists. And in addition to that, they have both cities, they have a cycling paths, like the recreational ones, not where you would do your interval, but where you can just take a rental bike or electric bike and have a casual ride.
Yeah, that's actually how my dad started.
Yeah, and there are like kilometers, hundreds of kilometers of those paths together in Dubai and Abu Dhabi.
So how far apart are the two cities?
Well, around 100
kilometers.
100, stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay. All right. So 180 or 160 kilometers. Oh, you said 100 kilometers.
Kilometers, yeah.
Kilometers. Okay. Okay. So that's kind of close.
They're not far. So, yeah.
And is it all desert? Like in between? Like, no, I'm like, okay, educate.
Well, kind of, it's mainly desert, but like if you remove everything we have here, desert.
Yeah.
But
right.
Really crazy things. We have the
sandstorm.
You know, we have a really big city. So yeah, and the roads mainly, if you look right, you won't see any grass.
Yeah.
Or left, you'll just see some sand.
In some areas, yes. In some areas, there are more green
mainly
parts.
On highways, you'll see.
Recently, even in the desert, you will see the trees and you will see some grass as well. And all of this is basically seeded.
Okay.
To make it more attractive, to make it more livable, I would say.
Huh. Wow. So now with sand and roads, you come like washover. I've seen like washovers. Like, is there a lot of maintenance that needs to be done on these trails?
Yes.
When you have all the sand like blowing over it all the time.
We had a wind, a sandstorm.
Yeah.
So
and then
the next day we actually had to do a morning ride.
Yeah.
Actually a couple of rains in the winter, like man-made rains. They put planes. Yeah. They have planes in the winter, and then they just like blow salt on the wind, on the clouds, and it makes the clouds bigger.
Yeah.
And it just drops rain. So we had a really big one, but we have like one or two of them. So we had a lake in the desert.
Oh my God. Seriously?
What?
They drop salt.
Yeah, they spray some substance over there and it creates an artificial rain. The rain, it's still the same rain, it's still the water, which is basically
right. They've just
condensed water, right? But they help to do this condensation process, and it creates a good rain, and sometimes it's a huge rain, and sometimes it's
like I think you put too much up there.
Yeah, sometimes it's flooding the cycling tracks, and it's flooded basically the whole city sometimes. But that's okay. So yeah, and if there is a sandstorm, sometimes yes, we have these parts when basically the dunes are moving over.
We had a ride. First, we go and we have a lake on the cycling track.
Yeah.
So really, we had to just like stand up.
It wasn't too deep, but it was like something new.
Yeah, and then we go, we turn, and there's like just the track is covered in a really like thin layer of sand, but from the pictures from super early morning, it was like this kind of thick sand.
Yeah.
You couldn't ride on it unless you had a really big fat bike. But who rides 60 kilometers on a fat bike?
Someone does.
Yeah, but someone does in Canada, that's for sure.
But
maybe not in the sand dunes.
These tracks are pretty well maintained. So with a couple of days, they're absolutely clean, and even within the same day, they were already starting doing some cleaning up job.
Yeah, they have trucks on the cycling track, and then like we actually saw lots of times.
They have a huge like a vacuum cleaner running on the cycling track, just sucking all the sand and cleaning up.
Okay, that was my next question.
Yeah.
How do you get the sand off the track? Yeah. Is it like a big broom, or is it like a vacuum?
It's like a really big vacuum and a brush.
Okay. Yeah.
Big truck.
That's kind of like our I guess equivalent to street cleaner type machines that are here that kind of clean everything up off the street.
Yes. We have something similar in Russia for the snow. I think you have as well something like that, right? When you have the snow. But yeah, here it's different. So here we need to move the sand.
Yeah, and I can't imagine it's pretty dense. I mean, it's hard to move that. So tell me about now you have a dream or a vision of where you'd like to go. And also the Pro Tour was just there not too long ago.
Yes.
Yeah, the World Tour actually.
Yeah. Did you get to see that?
Yeah, we're watching it.
Not live, unfortunately, on the TV only.
Oh,
because
I was like, where are they going to cycle in Dubai? And then they showed like one of their longer, like 160 kilometer tracks.
It was all around the city.
Yeah,
it's super crazy. I'm his biggest fan, Pogacar. You should have heard of him.
Yeah.
And I actually met him once, and it was just like really crazy. Actually have a photo of he signed one of my medals. So we had a race with him. He was like riding on a Formula 1 track. So there is a track in Abu Dhabi that we didn't mention.
Yeah,
a Formula 1 track that's open.
Those are nice.
And we had a race there.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I got 4th place, the worst one.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I was really young in my cycling. So I just saw a big group. I gave up before the finish line. Now I know.
Now you know.
Push till the end. I did.
That's right.
Now, a couple of like days ago, a guy gave up. I sprinted and passed him on the last. Was it second or on the last second?
That's all it takes. 1 millisecond to get your. That's awesome. So you caught the tour, and okay, so tell me about your dream.
Well, maybe Pro Tour, or if I go crazy enough, I want to
you got lots of time to go crazy.
I want to be in UAE team, which is like the best World Tour team. Pogacar won the UAE Tour. They have really good tactics, good sponsors, and just like in general, my first cycling team.
Lots of hard training, I hear.
I go about 3 times a week. I have an evening ride, a ride with a triathlon, and a weekend morning ride.
Right. You might have to give up triathlon. I don't know. Are you ready for that?
Yes, actually. True. That's true.
I'd give up triathlon too if I was you. Just focus on one sport.
Yeah, focus on the thing that mainly works.
Yeah, that you like.
But if I go to a running competition, I did it. I didn't get a podium.
Oh my gosh.
Who goes for
You're
the
a
competition?
cyclist.
You don't go for the podium, right?
I didn't get a podium. I go to a cycling competition and I easily get a podium for my age group.
Mm-hmm.
So just focus on the thing that works, because if you spend time working on running, you'll be bad at cycling.
Yeah.
So otherwise, yeah.
Especially when your goal is to go pro tour. You might have to focus a whole lot on your cycling and tactics. And is there a junior, because with this, you're going to be moving up the ranks in the categories. Is there a junior development team in your area that
Yeah, there are teams.
Local teams, they're pretty strong. So
right?
there was one team in my last race,
Right.
a Dubai team, and they were really strong there also.
Yeah.
And they were super strong, but I mean, they were like 13, 14 years old. Makes sense. I'm 9. But there's another team that, I don't know, still thinking about it, contract not signed, a really good local cycling team. I might be invited, might not, but things that like, there are cycling teams. So
that's good.
It's not like I'm the only one here that's cycling, except in Abu Dhabi, because there are cycling teams, triathlon teams, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I would imagine that you could, I guess well, I don't think it depends. Like I know here, there's a cycling, like a like a youth cycling club.
Yes,
and in there you've got like the competitive stream and then the recreational, and anybody can join it. And what they do is they all train together, and then they have their, events that they go to. And that's where you learn how to ride and and it's team tactics that
I mean, not anybody
is the next step, right? Is how to work together as a team. And
there are clubs here who has like youth and junior members, and then there is a UAE Cycling Federation. So if you are part of the club, then you can be registered with the Cycling Federation, and then there are races for this age group on under the patronage from the Cycling Federation. So this is what our next target is, to get to that, because he started basically 1 year ago, started cycling with amateur races. But we can see that there are teams participating, and of course, when kids are in the team, you can see that they work as a team, of course. Yeah. So the next target is the team.
Yeah, because I mean, as you get older, you're going to go through your own categories, right? And then move yourself around to the clubs that have the stronger teams. Yeah, that's super exciting.
Yeah, maybe not at my age, but
I'm sure they have other kids your age in that same in your category. That, I mean, you can only race in your own category, but ultimately everybody races together and you podium in your own category. And then as you get older, you start moving up into the next level, and then you have to compete with those guys, and those guys have been there for a couple of years, and you're going to develop right there. So yeah. Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
Wow. So let me just ask you just a little bit more about I don't know. Is there anything you can tell me about Dubai that's really unique?
The police, definitely the police. I want to really.
Really?
Yeah. for their really big hard work. They always help out. Like, really, I should say that, I mean, I haven't seen other police, but I think personally that the bike police is the best one.
Oh,
in
the
world.
bike police. Okay.
The bike police. Because it is, the city might be small, the army may be not that big, but it's really amazing. Like, they're so kind, they always help.
It's the safest city in the world, I would say. I don't know, maybe there are better places, but I don't know about them. So you really feel safe over here.
Right.
You really feel comfortable over here. What is unique is that this place is it's a big mix. There are people here. This place is where people are coming from all over the world, and we are all living here together. So that's the great thing about this place. So we have, like, I don't know, 80 nationalities from many countries, and everybody's living together, and everybody's living together in peace, and everyone is happy about that. So that's a great place, and it's a city of the opportunities, and there are opportunities for everybody. Even there are opportunities for cycling, right? So who could think that you can really cycle in the middle of the desert? And we are in the middle of the desert, and we are cycling. Of course, in the summer, it's a bit more complicated, right?
Yeah,
you need to wake up
super
early, 4 o'clock in the morning, you wake up, 5 o'clock, you have to roll your wheel.
Or
already.
You could just be at home.
On your trainer.
Yeah, we have now these trainers and everything, but that's it's a great thing, but it's a different feeling anyway. So we got stuck at home for some time when, because of the COVID situation and everything. So all of us had to go through this COVID stuff. Martin went through this, I went through that. And for some time, so we were stranded at home, and so we wanted to cycle. So we used the trainer. It's a great thing, but yeah, of course, only if you can't go outside. So even me, I would say, in the summer, yes, it's hot. Do I want to use a trainer, or I want to go outside? I will go outside.
Right. You'll make the sacrifice, get up early, roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it.
That's a different thing. Yeah.
Wow. Anyways, I would love to come visit sometime. So
we have a lot of events coming up over here. We recently had, unfortunately, I missed that. There was a big, it's a part of the UCI Gran Fondo.
Oh, okay.
Pre-select events. So it's called Spinace Dubai 92. So it's around 92-95 kilometers race, and the top parts of the top participants in each age group qualifies for the Gran Fondo in Italy. So a couple of my friends, they were qualified based on this event. So they are planning now their September, if I'm not mistaken. So they're going to go to Italy for the Gran Fondo, and this is another opportunity in Dubai. So we have world-class events happening over here. And there are many people coming from different countries over here for that race, just to be a part of that race. It's an amateur event. And there are many people coming over here. So next time you can think about that.
I know. I think I'm going to have to go on a world tour, honestly. Like everybody that I interview, like globally, there is something fascinating, whether it's like an enduro, 8-day race, like across Europe, or, somewhere in the States. And I'm just like, Canada, we need to pick it up. I'm like, I need to go somewhere else. But now I have a question. Is Dubai flat, or is there?
No.
Okay.
There are mountains.
If you compare that to Europe, if you compare that to Canada, it is totally flat.
Okay.
But the Dubai itself is flat. So when
and in between the cities,
in between the cities as well, but
or is
we
it
do
kind of,
yeah, of course it goes a little bit up and down, but these ups and downs on the terms of, I don't know, compared to I don't know, Italian roads or France, these are flat. But we do have two mountains which are famous across the cyclists over here. Martin did one of those.
I just saw that. That was not too long ago.
Yeah, it was recently. It is 1.4 kilometer climb over 20 kilometers. And we have another one, it's I think 1.2 or 1.3 over 10 kilometers. So that's a bit steeper. So that's the plan before the summer will hit. That's the plan for Martin for the next for another mountain. And this is basically, these are the two big mountains. And we have one region as well inside the country where we have some climbs as well. And so we go there from time to time to just to train over there.
Practice the hills. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, where can we find you on social media? Where can people find you? Where can our listeners go and watch your
mainly on Instagram?
Which one? On Instagram? Oh yes. Okay.
My Cyclist Martin account.
Right.
Yeah, I'm basically more on that account than my main account, where it's just like going here, like just the social media.
Casual.
But
he has two accounts. One is like a casual account, is Martin_DXB, and then there is another one, Cyclist_Martin, which is focused on the cycling and everything what he does with cycling, races and the other stuff. Of course, to keep the rules as the rules, right? Both accounts are managed by parents so far. So that's important, because you don't want to have any kind of weird stuff happening with the social media with the kids. So both accounts are managed by me and my wife. But everything what's going on, we're sharing with Martin and taking the pictures together, of course. And
I know, that's how I found you guys. I'm like, hey, look at that little guy going. I'm like, and he's in Dubai. And thank you. I have to thank you for accepting the invite to be on the podcast. So, wow, this has been amazing. I want to thank you guys for sharing, and I look forward to following your progress as you grow and move into these new categories as a young cyclist on your way to your pro tour dreams. And, I'm sure, a couple pros that, can give you advice on all the steps that it takes to get to the next level over the next 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember one inspirational quote. A guy from UAE team was talking about how he was a kid and he was watching Mark Cavendish. I think you know him,
Yeah, I like Mark.
Yeah. And he was just watching him on TV, and he was like, I really want to ride with him. Like, his dream was him riding in a race with him. And now here he is in UAE Tour having a race with Mark Cavendish.
That must be super inspirational.
The exact same thing with me. I'm watching all the Tadej Pogacar stuff. I'm such a big fan of him. And then like a dream is to have a race with him.
Oh, I can see it happening. Taking the right steps to get there. Following the right paths. And it's a good thing you got your dad alongside you. Yeah. I've interviewed a couple girls and guys who, from ages about 11, I guess, when they start, or even younger, their progress up into pro status in Europe. And then, and it's quite interesting. Like, it's a lot, but if that's your passion, you'll have no problem. And then I just interviewed a couple who, you have to follow her, Bree_Vine. Her husband, Jesus, I think it's Ryan Vine, is currently over in Europe working on his pro status, and it's a lot of work. And so that's why I was like, I know you're going to be successful.
Thank you so much.
So
with that, thanks to all of our listeners. Did you find Bree?
No, I just made the notes, so I will find her.
Yeah, so follow her. And thank you to all the listeners, and thank you to Martin and Alex for jumping on late at night in Dubai to talk to me on the podcast and share your story with our listeners. So I hope, Martin, you inspire some other little boys and girls to get on their bikes and inspire to be great cyclists.
If you're listening, just hop in your bike, start training.
Great advice. Thank you very much, you guys. Have an amazing day. And
don't forget so much.
Yeah, don't forget to follow Martin and the podcast, Secrets from the Saddle podcast, and place out your reviews. Thank you very much, everyone. Have an amazing day.
Bye-bye.